Hola, buenas tardes. Gracias por estar aquí en nuestro webinar de Quieres saber tu negocio, la Cámara te guía. Hoy vamos a hablar sobre certificación para tu negocio y para eso tenemos a dos personas que van a estar aquí platicándonos sobre la certificación para tu negocio. Tenemos a Lennox Lamb, él es el gerente de certificación en el Saint Louis Development Corporation. Y también tenemos a Nicole Dodson, ella es la gerente del Centro de Empoderamiento, también aquí en Saint Louis, en el Saint Louis Development Corporation. Nicole comenzará hablándonos primero y después será Lennox. La presentación durará aproximadamente 45 minutos y ya luego hay 15 minutos de Q&A. Ellos van a dar la presentación en inglés, pero Lennox habla español, así que si tienen alguna duda, se la pueden preguntar en español y él les puede contestar. Esto está siendo grabado y como siempre lo pondremos en nuestra página web. Y así que, hola Lennox, ¿qué tal? Hi Nicole, how are you? You're muted, Nicole, just letting you know. There you go.
Hi, how are you? Hi.
I'm good. Okay, entonces Nicole se va a presentar primero y después ella va a comenzar su presentación. So Nicole, if you want to go ahead and introduce yourself and then you can share your screen and start your presentation.
Okay. So, Miguel, I do not have an actual presentation. I
Okay,
just
no,
want to
that's
just talk
fine.
about what we
Yep,
do. I
that's
apologize. I
perfect
didn't.
too. Oh no, you're okay.
Okay, wonderful. So, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Nicole Dotson. I am the manager for the Northside Economic Empowerment Center. We are a economic development arm for St. Louis Development Corporation. We are a strategic centralized center that focus on building capacity and empowerment, as well as workforce development for our women and minority businesses to ensure that we can support them holistically. We work with individuals to help them get started, as well as if they just started their own business. As well as if they've been in business for at least 1 to 5 years. I see Linux is asking us to put up our flyers. Okay, wonderful.
Yep, I will put them for you guys.
Okay, wonderful.
Mhm.
Basically, we've been in business for 7 months now, and it's been very rewarding. We've actually served over 1,800 people who have come through for various reasons, of course. But we are excited to say that we've served over 300 businesses and provided them with the resources that they needed to ensure that they were able to start their business, or if they just got started, or if they were already in business, just to help them with those additional services to remain sustained. We also have a workforce component where we have the opportunity to work with individuals who are currently either seeking employment opportunities, as well as maybe looking for a different career field, or interested in wanting to start their own business. Generally after our okay, generally after our workshops, we have what's called Technical Tuesdays and Thursdays, which allows individuals to come up and work with us so that if you don't have an EIN number when you want to start your business, we help you get that created. If your business name is not registered with the Secretary of State, we make sure that we can help you get that done. And it only costs $55. After that, we want to help you also obtain your business license, because that's important. And that's that extra layer and that component that every business will need to ensure that their business is just pretty much legitimized. The next piece that we do is we work with individuals who are looking to potentially do what we call bidding and estimating. And that's generally for our contractors. But the good part about the Bidding and Estimating Academy is that most people get to come in and just look at the whole dynamic of how to bid and estimate for their jobs, for their contracts, and even for just their local business. The next thing is we work with individuals to help them obtain a business plan, because we realize that you need a business plan, especially when you are looking to pitch your business. The next thing that we do is we provide services for which Mr. Lamb will come in and talk about in just a minute. But what we do is we help prep individuals to prepare for obtaining their certification for their women or their minority-owned businesses. Every fourth Wednesday of the month, we do host career fairs here at this center from 10 until 1 p.m. And, we are really excited to have that opportunity because our goal is to, again, help the workforce come back full throttle to ensure that they can also have a job that can help them make a livable wage. Our office hours, we are open from 8:30 to 5 p.m. daily. And we do encourage every person to subscribe to our Boss Portal. The Boss Portal is a portal that provides what we call back office assistance to all of our customers and clients and people that walk through our doors to ensure that you have the opportunity to learn about what we do, partake in our workshops, and just get the resources that you need to ensure that you have everything you need for your business. And so once you subscribe to the Boss Portal at www.developstlouis.org/Boss Portal, it's at that point you'll receive an email from us here at the Northside Economic Empowerment Center to ensure that we can reach out to you when there are different things that come down our pipeline, such as grant opportunities and just any upcoming events that we'll be hosting here at the center. Miguel, that's all I have.
Okay,
Is there any
awesome.
questions? Yes.
Yeah, so we'll keep the questions for the end of the session. So yeah, people will definitely be asking questions. I have a couple of questions that I want to ask you as well.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you so much.
Yeah, no, thank you. Now, Lennox, so yours, floor is yours.
Hola, buenas tardes. Mi nombre es Lennox Lamb. Para comenzar, dame hablar en inglés un poco para explicar unas 2 o 3 cosas sobre el Center in Empowerment. The Empowerment Center is really open to help businesses, and we at SLDC is committed to serve the entire public. So we want the Spanish Chamber a la comunidad de latinos para saber si nosotros estamos aquí para usted. No hay bastante gente en ese center habla español, pero yo sí. So, en algún día o cualquier tiempo yo puedo ayudar a cualquier latino que viene que necesite información sobre los diferentes servicios. Yo voy a caminar con ellos sobre la cosa, el proceso. What I was saying to the Empowerment Center, we're open to everybody in the public, and we are prepared to serve the Latin community. I am stationed there mostly on Tuesdays, but if there's any issues, any services that community need, we are a wonderful team. We work together. The ladies will pick up the phone, they'll call me, and I can walk through any of the Latin or Hispanic community that needs any of the services that are available. And we want the community to understand that we are open and totally ready to serve them. And 2 of our senior vice presidents are actually on the call to show the commitment that we have as it relates to the Spanish community at SLDC and total inclusion. If they have any questions, ¿tiene algunas preguntas sobre el Center? Nota la cosa en el chat y yo puedo explicar más. Mr. Cole will definitely talk to you guys about whatever you need. Ok, vamos a cambiar un poco por certificación. El primero, yo soy Lennox Lamb, yo soy beliceño, yo nací en un buenísimo país, se llama Belice, estudio como 5 años en Caracas, por eso yo puedo hablar un español un poco. Es importante para la comunidad latina para saber que yo quiero ayudar a mi gente. Yo quiero facilitar cualquier cosa el comunidad necesita para acceso a un proyecto o un programa muy importante por todos. Pero la idea sobre certificación es inclusion. Nosotros tenemos bastante oportunidad por los latinos, los negros, los caribeños, las mujeres en este proyecto. Vamos a comenzar en inglés para explicar las cosas. Cualquier pregunta que usted tiene, dame en español, yo voy a explicar en inglés. Y la razón es, el proceso de certificación es un proceso legal y muy delicado. Yo no tengo la materia en inglés, en español, para explicar muy bien para usted. Vamos a hacer la cosa en inglés, pero cualquier cosa usted necesita, yo puedo ayudar en español. También en el proceso para haciendo la aplicación o to submit the application, yo puedo sentar con cualquier latino y persona que hablar español para caminar sobre el proceso. Okay? Okay. Certification started in St. Louis officially with a decree in 1990. It was a consent decree between the workers' union and the city of St. Louis that fought for this program to come into effect. And when this program came into effect, it basically spoke directly to city contracts that were being awarded. And the idea was, we want more participation from females and African-American males. So at that time, it was 25% por los negros y 5% por las mujeres. Over the years, St. Louis has become more diverse, and the city, along with SLDC, saw the opportunity to open it up to serve the población muy efectivo. So ahora, the breakdown as it relates to the awarding of city contracts and workforce is 2%. And I'll go from the Hispanic because this is important and we walk up. So 2% de todos los contratos que tienes en la ciudad de San Luis es por latinos. 11% es por las mujeres. 0.5 es por Native Americans. 0.5 is por Asian Americans. And 21 es por los African Americanos. All right, so if we notice on the Latin population has been given somewhat a significant portion, which is 2%. And I think that is based on the amount of Latins that are actually registered within the metropolitan area. And it shows the progression of how this program is and is moving. We're in the process of starting to negotiate and look at what the program will look like for the next 10 years. So we just completed a disparity study, and that will determine whether or not the numbers of the participation will increase or not. That is one of the leading documents that we have to know how much people are in the program, and as well how much we can increase those numbers. I think seminars like this are important because we need to ensure that the Latin communities become licensed, become legitimate within their cities that they live, and that gives us the numbers to look at the ratios and see if it has to come up or not. So it's important that as immigrants, los inmigrantes como nosotros no quieren vivir abierto, pero nosotros estamos en una ciudad muy amable que tiene que tiene la capacidad y también el pensamiento para ayudar a nosotros. So we're in a city that is open to immigrants, have always been open to immigrants. So for us as Latin Americans, it's imperative that we take advantage of these programs, get our companies licensed, become licensed, so that we can benefit from these programs. As it relates to certification, in February 15, 2023, we looked at the amount of firms that are certified. Jose? Hello? Here's a question. Man, somebody has your hand up? Miguel.
I think you can keep going. If they have any questions, si tienen alguna pregunta, lo pueden poner en el chat y se la preguntamos al final de la presentación.
Okay. So where we stand right now as it relates to certification, we have 14 female minority Latin businesses certified, and we have 34 male Latin business certified. That's about close to 4.1% of all the certified firms. Can we do more? I think so. And it's for the community to understand that SLDC is here to serve. And we are prepared to, once the companies reach the criteria that is necessary by law, SLDC has built out infrastructure, and it shows in the hiring of someone who speaks Spanish and come from Latin America that they're committed to serve that population. I think we want to, and I need to stress this, we want to dispel the notion that we do not have all residents of St. Louis as a major part of it, and we have an open door and welcoming policy. All right, entonces, what we need to be certified? First of all, you have to be a U.S. citizen or a legal resident guardian, resident in the city. Tiene un tarjeta verde o un ciudadano to accept the benefits of this program. And that's not something that we have the ability to change. That is the rules, that is the federal guidelines as it relates to accessing any program that is driven or backed with any kind of incentives, with taxes. And so a lot of times, I know the question has come up, can asylum seekers who are here legally, can they do business? The short answer is no. And the rationale is, when you apply for asylum, you are then given the right to work. I think the privilege to open businesses comes once that process is finished, and then you're given a more open access to all the benefits within a society. And that is basically the acceptable norm throughout all nations of the United Nations. So I don't think there's any. So once you are un ciudadano o tienes su tarjeta verde, vamos a comenzar el proceso. Abrir su negocio, open your business. You have to have an LLC. You have to have the ability to show us that you have the capacity to run your business. And that is one of the major components we look at. So there are various documents that we ask for in the process that shows us, one, that you have the ability to do the business. You have the ability to run your business. You have the ability to run the day-to-day affairs of your business. And we look very closely at those documents. And as an immigrant, I also understand how difficult that might seem, or how us as immigrants feel intimidated by submitting all those documents. Yo te digo, yo estoy en el proceso. Yo estoy como un migrante también. So it's for us to understand that you have someone in-house who is not abrasive, who will not be resistant to helping you guys with the process. Pero es importante que nosotros vente a la oficina, hablar directo con nosotros. Si ahí tiene alguna gente tiene problema con el proceso, vente a la oficina, habla conmigo. Ask the questions and we will help you throughout that process. What becomes complicated, guys, in the process is when we look at partnerships, joint ventures. It's a little more complicated and less complex for new immigrants. So my advice to new green card holders or new business owners, if we open the simpler LLC, simpler companies, it's much more easier for the process. Is not as complicated. It's not as abrasive as you guys will have a problem with. But we do need you to sign. So we need a resume of all the documents you need for that, for your certification. If you're doing business for more than 3 años, we need to see su papel de impuesto, your tax documents, your federal tax documents. We also need, lights. We also need a copy of all loans, loan agreements, where we got the money from. And I know that for immigrants, that might be un problema, porque nosotros trabajando en una comunidad, amigo, préstame eso, we borrow from here, we borrow from there, but we need a documentation of where that money came from. And that's vital for us to see how the ownership of these companies are set up. So entonces, por ejemplo, habla con Miguel, mira, préstame $1 million. Hacer ponga la cosa en un papel, un acuerdo, escribe, busca un notary para firmar la cosa y ya. So we want to be able to although we have grown accustomed to doing business informally, for this process, we have to formalize the process. So we'll have to shake off some of our own biases and get those documents. If we borrow the money, get a loan agreement, get a payment plan, we get that notarized, and then you submit it so that the certification team can verify how these programs, how your company was established. All right. It does no help for us to fight the system, but more so respect the system for what it represents and what it's trying to protect. So although we have our way of doing business as immigrants or as Latinos, un cambio no es malo. Es un cambio un poquito diferente, pero it's good as well. So once we do that, we need our license, guys. Licensing as related to the field that we want to work in. If we're an electrician, we need to get our electrician license. If we're plumbers, we need to get our plumber license. If it's a firm, we need to register with the city of St. Louis, get our licencia, get our documentos, and then you come in for certification. Real estate. We need to see where the business is established, if we're paying rent. And again, we need those lease agreements. We need to know that you're paying your rent. We need your storage facilities. All those documents is very, very important. Your bank statement. I know, Miguel, this is something a little bit difficult. But again, guys, we need a legitimate bank statement. And I sure the chamber have worked with you guys. We have some friendly banks that you're comfortable banking with. But we need that signature card because we need to know that if it's Miguel or Lennox or Nicole that is the owner of the company, we need to see those documents. Yo sé, es su primo, pero we need to. Es mi compañía, pero la cuenta es en el nombre de mi primo. That won't work. It has to be in your name. The account has to be in your name or else you'll have issues with the certification process. Salaries. Again, this is a legal process, SLDC, of which Ms. Stacy is in charge of, and I hope she'll jump in at some point on this. Compliance becomes an issue when it comes to salary. We have to ensure that the people working for your company are legitimate and can work within the US. So we need a copy of those salaries that you pay out, because certification looks at that. So, and that also determines if you guys are working. So we'll ask you for copies of your payrolls. Again, that has to be documented. We have to see who got paid. All those things are looked at very carefully at the certification side. All right. So your list of employees, the jobs that you have been on. Ms. Stace, you want to say something about the employees?
I was going to say, is there something you would like me to add to that?
Well, from a compliance side,
so the compliance department is responsible for monitoring any city incentivized project that is $1 million or more that is receiving some type of incentive from the city of St. Louis. That triggers the compliance department, which means at that point, we're monitoring those projects for participation on those projects with our workforce and our enterprise goals. We use our compliance software system, which is our global project tracking system, which we call GPTS, for monitoring the enterprise side of the house. And then we use headcount, which is for our boots on the ground and our workforce system. With headcount, it allows you to do your certified payroll because it's automated. We have readers up where the construction boots on the ground have RFIDs on their helmets. It tracks you coming onto the site as if you were checking in, and tracks you as you leave the site as if you were checking out. And it basically will build out the certified payroll for the project. And then the GCs or the subcontractors will be responsible for verifying that the information is correct and submit those certified payrolls through the system. You are required to pay prevailing wage if you are working on a project, if it is not union. Otherwise, you're required to pay union wages. Headcount has all of that automatically in the system. So when you pull the appropriate boots on the ground from a foreman to a first-year apprentice, it will have all of the actual wages per the trades already in the system, and you will just do your certified payrolls. Anything else you would like me to add to that, Lennox?
Nothing. That is essentially it. And again,
Lennox, you're muted.
Oh, sorry. No, I'm not. Are you hearing me? ¿Me escuchas?
I can hear you.
Are you hearing me, Stacy?
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect.
Yeah. So that component is important because I know as it relates to our workforce within the community, there's always question on that aspect. So that's a discussion we could have with Ms. Stacy. I think Ms. Marla is in charge of that. I'm very close with her. We're managers together. So if we have issues with that, I can work with you guys because that is a component that certification needs. We want to see your workforce. We need to see quién está trabajando con usted. Y toda la cosa está above board. So let's look at your corporate formation. I'm not sure how much you guys have dealt with that yet. But we need, and help me with the official terms here, we need your official articles of incorporation. ¿Cómo dice eso en español?
I am not. Can you say it again?
Your official articles of incorporation of your company. The official
artículos oficiales de la incorporación de tu negocio. I would say that's what it is, but if that's the official title, I am not fully sure, to be honest.
Ese es un problema. Yo tengo las palabras oficial sobre las palabras legal es una cosa difícil para nosotros y también. So what I've spoken to my director, she's here, she knows, in very short time, I'm hoping to get all these documents translated officially so that we can have the official terms
Awesome.
so that the community can use. It's one thing, we know what it is. Por eso es importante usted viene y hablar conmigo. Yo puedo explicar cuál documento usted necesitan, pero la palabra oficial es algo diferente. What I'm saying is, guys, come into the office, speak to me. I can tell you what it needs. For this purpose, it's hard for me to give you the official legal terms, and I don't want to mislead you guys officially. So until we get those documents translated in Spanish on the required documents, just come in and we will walk you through what we mean by that. So I'm going to say it in English. We need both your corporate documents and your stocks. We need your stock ledgers. We need the meetings of your shareholders. These for the bigger corporations. We need all bylaws and amendments. We need company resolutions and bank signature card. And we need the official formation from the Secretary of State. Additional information that might be required. We might ask you for your insurance policy, especially for construction companies. If you have a construction company, by law, you have to have the proper insurance in place for your staff. So los documentos de seguro, nosotros necesito ese documento, es muy importante. Proof of ownership. We need the proof of your ownership of that company. We need if you agree, if you tiene su residencia, su tarjeta de residencia, es importante. Si usted es ciudadano, necesita su pasaporte. For green card holders, we need a copy of your green card to verify that you are a resident. If you are a citizen, we need your citizen document, which could be your passport, to verify that you are a U.S. citizen. If you're in the trucking business, we need to know that tú eres la dueña de camioneta, so we need the titles of your trucks as well. For those who just started, I know this is kind of difficult, but it's the rule. If you don't have 3 years of taxes, we do need financial audit statements of the businesses of your business. We need trust agreements. No sé cuál es en español, pero if you have trust agreements, any holding companies that holds the name of the company, we need all those documents as well. And that are essentially documents we need for certification. Now, once all those are compiled together, and I recommend that you guys do the workshop with Lambert International Airport, which helps you to walk through the portal and how to upload those documents efficiently. At the Empowerment Center on Tuesdays, we have a session that we do that's called, yo no sé en español, pero I don't know the word in español. Es como vente para haciendo su proceso certificación fácil, algo así. It's cutting away through the weeds of certification, which essentially you come in and we try to explain the process. I work with you to get that done easily. And then on the following Monday, you can come in with all your documents and I will assist you with the help of Ms. Eloise and Ms. Nicole, because as a certification manager, I can't legally upload your documents for you, but we will assist you if you have problems to upload your documents. That way, that's why the center is there. I cannot do it physically, but I'm there, the team is there, and we're gonna walk through how to get through B2G, which is a system that we use for certification. I know, guys, it's complicated. It's not in Spanish. Maybe we can convince Ms. Stacy to figure out how we can get B2G in Spanish, if that's even possible. But we're there to walk you through that process. It's not in Spanish, but we need to get you guys certified the best way possible. I just can't do the uploading for you, but I will walk you through how that process is done. I do not evaluate the documents at that point. I do not look at your documents to see their validity. So es muy importante para usted entenderse. En este día, Lennox no está aquí para haciendo su análisis. Yo estoy aquí para ayudar a usted para comenzar el proceso y caminar dentro del proceso. Pero el proceso sobre certificación es algo muy delicado. And cuando yo comenzar eso, yo cambio por una diferente persona. ¿Tú me entiendes? So once the certification process is in, the documents are in, I then look at the validity of your documents. I will not tell you at that point if that document meets the threshold. If you bring a bank document, that is what we're going to upload, and I don't look at the contents. Yo no veo el contenido de los documentos, okay? So once you're documented in, it then gets sent to an analyst. It could be me, it could be any of the other 5 analysts at the airport. They're not your, ellos no son enemigos, they're not your enemies. Ellos están en el proceso para ayudar a usted. Es muy bien para hablar directo con ellos, hacer una relación con ellos, become very close with them, develop a relationship, work with them, give them your documents. And so that makes your process very easy. There'll be a point in the process whereby you'll be asked to do a site visit. It can be virtual, it can be on the ground. Once that site visit is done, we're at the stage in your process whereby we're now preparing your profile that goes to the PRC. Lennox no tiene la poder y tampoco quiere la poder para haciendo esa certificación. I don't have the power. I don't have the authority to make the decision if you're certified or not. We make yo or the people at the airport, we make a recommendation to the public review committee. I don't know what that is in Spanish. They do your analysis based on the recommendations we make. I think that only at that process, I don't want to speak out. You could ask that question in the workshop, but maybe if Ms. Stacy knows the answer, she can jump in. I think at that point, if a translator is needed, we provide an official translator at the PRC meeting. Am I right, Ms. Stacy, or you need me to check that?
Yep, I think that's what Fran has done in the past. If a translator was needed, if shall we say accommodations would be needed for an individual to make sure they could understand the process and the proceeding, they would need to let us know that ahead of time so that we can make the proper provisions.
All right, so once we get to that point, and that's one excellent, and you feel like you need a translator to be there because it's your business, it's your process, that is afforded for you at that point. Throughout the process, for now, you have me to ask questions and that type of stuff. And I said, the spirit is not to deny anybody. The spirit is to help in the process. So we will try our best to work with you through that process. And then once it is completed, the PRC, who has the final say, makes a determination on whether or not the firm is certified or not. Once the firm is approved, you're now placed on un registrado de ciudad, and your firm, what your firm does is in the public space, and it's time for you guys to build your relationships and get business. If for whatever reason your firm is denied, you have an appeal process that you can go through, and we'll work. You can go more in depth with that on the monthly certification workshop. They'll go through that with you guys, and then you can appeal your certification. At this time, I'll open for algunas preguntas, comentario, cualquier pregunta usted tiene por mí, por Ms. Stacy, o por Nicole and the Employment Center. Vamos a hablar.
I'll start, porque yo tengo un par de preguntas. So, like, when do you consider when do you consider that that a business is like ready to be a minority certified?
That's an excellent question. La jefa dice, en el principio, my boss, I'm sorry, ladies, jefa in español is boss. My boss, she promotes and she tries to get business, and Miss Nicole, sorry, as well, wants to get you guys certified at the start. That becomes a little bit problematic if the individual does not have the requisite qualifications or licensure to do the business. So, por ejemplo, algunas tienen experiencia en construcción. Toda su vida en Belice, en México, en Salvador. Señor, yo estoy haciendo casa toda mi vida. The thing about it is, guys, we need a record of that at certification. So unless you're a member of the union, you have your journeyman certificate, you have your license for electrician or for those trades, it becomes a problem for certification. Now, if you were doing it for years and you have that documentation, at certification, it makes the process easier. What I would tell new companies, because yo estoy aquí en la oficina ahora, habla conmigo primero, and I'll explain to you guys what is the best option. But there is no right time for certification better than now if you have the experience and the documentation for the process. And if that answers the question.
Yeah, it does. Y ahora, ¿qué tipo, like, o sea, okay, si yo tengo mi negocio, ¿cómo puedo saber qué tipo de certificación funciona mejor para mí? Like, how do I know what type of, if I have a business, like what type of certification should I have, and how can I know what certification to have?
Es una buena pregunta. La certificación de nosotros, the St. Louis Development Corporation Minority Business Enterprise Certification, es por la ciudad de San Luis. El distrito, como dice, metropolitana de St. Louis. So our certification allows you to work within the St. Louis metropolitan area. It gives you access if you're looking for business as it relates to government-related contracts or any development program that is applying for tax abatement or tax breaks from the St. Louis Development Corporation. This is a good program. But because of the integrity of this program and how well it has been managed for years, other areas accept our certification. And Ms. Stacy can add if I miss anyone out. But the St. Louis County accepts our certification. The Department of Education accepts our certification. MSD takes our certification. Missouri Office of Equal Opportunity takes our certification. Barnes takes our certification as a corporation. Beer as a corporation takes our certification. And Washington University takes our certification. And es por servicio y construcción también. So es importante para nosotros para saber, hay varios lugares donde nosotros podemos trabajar o hacer un negocio en servicio or construction. So if you're into construction, you can get your certification in that area if you provide goods and services. ¿Cómo dice goods and services en español?
Servicios, goods and services es como servicios y... I gotta Google it.
All right, sorry.
Bienes y servicios.
¿Cómo?
Bienes y servicios, there you go.
Bienes y servicios. Yes, so goods and services can be certified as, gracias, Ms. Maria. Goods and services can be certified and construction as consultants as well. So what I would love for you guys to get from this is, abre su mente sobre certificación, porque hay varios lugares donde nosotros podemos trabajar y hacer un negocio. There's a lot of areas that we can go, not only construction, there's consultant, there's goods and services. So whatever business you have, you can apply for certification and seek contracts within those areas.
Okay. And so lastly, in case anybody else doesn't have any more questions, do you guys offer, I think you did say it in the presentation, but do you guys offer one-on-one? So if I'm a business and I don't know where to go and I go to you guys, is it like, do you guys offer like a one-on-one and you guys like take me step by step, or how would that work?
You saw Miss Nicole shake her head, right? Before I could say no, she said, yes, we do. We pride ourselves in helping businesses. So
Okay.
I guess we should officially put it out there, but we have a one-on-one. That's a culture. We want to meet with you. We want to sit with you. Nosotros podemos ayudar a usted uno por uno. Es no algo en un documento, pero es la vida. That's how we want the relationships to be. So if you guys need that service, reach out to SLDC, and that's the spirit under which I was hired. And I was very frank when I did my interview, when I spoke to Ms. Stacy. I said to her, and I did it intentionally in the interview, I said, is SLDC a Si Se Puede organization? If it's not a Si Se Puede organization, I have no interest. So, and she said, yes, that is a culture we want. The yes, I can attitude. So that is what we're trying to offer.
Awesome. So, ya saben, si necesitan asesoramiento o algo, pueden ir one-on-one con ellos y le pueden ayudar. But if anybody else doesn't have any more questions, si nadie más tiene preguntas, vamos a cerrar esto. Like I said, está siendo grabado y va a estar en nuestra página web. Vamos a poner el contacto de información de Lennox al final, el de Nicole, para que ustedes los puedan contactar si necesitan más preguntas, si necesitan alguna ayuda. Si tienen más preguntas, pues me la pueden mandar a mí en mi correo y yo se lo puedo hacer pasar a Lennox, o simplemente directamente con él le pueden hacer. Pero muchísimas gracias, Lennox. Thank you, Nicole. Thank you, Stacy, for staying. Thank you for being here with us today. I appreciate all your time and effort that you put into this. So thank you so much. And I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend and go to somewhere where it's not that hot, because it's been really hot lately. So thank you so much for being with us. Gracias por estar aquí, y pues ya hemos cerrado este webinar, y pues acuérdense que es every other Friday, así que nos vemos en la próxima. Muchas gracias.